right away. Just attack the basket. James catches, puts up a three. Won't go. Rebound box. Back out to Allen. His three-pointer. Bang! Tie game with 5 seconds remaining.
Welcome to the Ultimate Super Coach and Fantasy Sports Show. You are now listening to the Insight Fantasy Sports Podcast.
Boom shakalaka!
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Heat Check. I am at NBA G Wiz, and this is my grey hoodied brother from another mother, Mr. Jake Skidmore. How you doing, man?
Oh, good, mate. Yeah, another beautiful Saturday morning here in Australia. So gearing up for another big weekend of NBA action where hopefully everyone's in finals right now. Otherwise, what the hell are you doing? And you're going to cop some absolute shit in the next couple of weeks. But that's all right, Jay Whistle. That's what we're here for.
It is what happens. And, this has been an injury-ravaged season, to be fair. It's I know that you had the number one pick in one. You drafted one team that I thought was one of the sexiest teams in all the comps that I'm involved in. And then it crumpled because of injuries. And it's been one of those years where sickness, illness will get your game time decision and make you miss a couple of games, even with your common colds. Teams are playing it very, very easy. Skiddy, what's been for you the biggest plot twist in fantasy for you this year?
Oh, I think it has to be the injuries. A few of most of my leagues have absolutely been destroyed by injuries, but that's all right. You got to keep trying to push through it. Unfortunately, in the ones that I had, I couldn't really overcome it. Still in the finals in 2, so that's all right. Except I am currently versing Wembanyama in both, and he has a back-to-back, so that really hurts. I'm not looking forward to that. But yeah, the injuries, it's just something that you can't foresee, and you just kind of got to keep rolling with the punches. So yeah, how about you, mate?
No, injuries, and I think my biggest not just disappointment, but my biggest just frustration. And this goes back to what Mally says in the Tuesday show. He's like, I never, even if I love a guy, I'll draft them. Like I'll draft a guy that I love, but then I'll make sure that I trade him off soon because I don't want to be tied to one guy in so many leagues. And I'm kind of always with that as well. Like I don't want one guy, but when they force you, and it's the guy's Donovan Mitchell, and you know how much I love the Don heading into this year. I mean, you're a Cavs fan. Obviously, you would have been. You're a bit bummed to see him go down, but even though they're playing well, it's still a bummer to see your superstar, who could potentially even not be with the team next year, go down.
Sure.
No, we don't want that. We don't want that.
Yeah, absolutely. So, people that chose LaMelo Ball as well in the first round, like that's an absolute killer. Pretty much derails your whole season there. But then you look at Embiid as well. That's killing anyone that's drafted Embiid. But then you look at guys that you thought were going to be injury riddled, like Anthony Davis, and he's played pretty much every single game. So it's bloody hard to be able to pick them now, especially with like load management and things like that. Now, also too, if you have Boston Celtics players like Tatum or Porzingis or Brown, and now seeing as Boston is so far ahead, they're able to actually load manage their players a bit because they're cruising. So it makes it a little bit more difficult to be able to navigate that. But that's all right. That's what we do. We try and find those pot of golds that replaces them.
We love pot of golds. My favorite pot of gold of recent times, with all the injuries going down and the incidents over in Chicago, has been Ayo Dosunmu, who had a career high the other night. And I'm playing against him in a semi-final league this week, and that bit my ball, and that bit me on the balls because I think it was 5 of 8 or 6 of 8 from 3 the other day. The man was on Fuego, and a man who's always on Fuego. He said, "I got a message 5 minutes out. I didn't know he was joining the show. To be fair today, otherwise I would have done better to have actually done some form of promotion to say yes, Kingy, of course." But here he is, Adam King from FBI Basketball International. How you doing, Kingy?
Very good. Hot cross buns with jam on the menu.
Yes.
Just for you, Matty G.
I did not get in the Met. See, this is the first. We spoke the other night on the show. We spoke you and your praises of your team, of your fantasy draft team, and how you sniped a couple of guys from Kingy in the FBI basketball 14-man, way too early one, Skidmore, because you drafted just before him. And Kingy had never had a hot cross bun with jam.
Interesting. I also have never had a hot cross bun with jam. I normally just go straight butter with, the sultana fruit kind of hot cross buns because they are mwah. I've never actually tried it with jam. So
you've never done it with jam before?
No.
Should I? I feel like I should ask. I've got like my sister-in-law is visiting. The wife is here. I feel like I need to ask other people, or if people could please put in chat if they've ever had hot cross. If they could ever just check on that one, please. That'd be. Carmody's in chat. G'day to you, Matty Carmody. What's up, man? What do you think of the Ingram injury? Has any effect on Larry Nance value? Larry Nance Jr. value? Look, I do think it has some value. I think the main guy might be Najee Marshall to get a little bit more burn, but we also know that Herb Jones and Trey Murphy, who are pretty much rostered. Actually, Herb Jones less rostered than Trey Murphy. I think those guys get burned, but. That's kind of where I'm leaning with. What about you guys? Kingy, what about? Kingy, you chew first. Skiddy, what do you think?
Look, I think it has minuscule value on Larry Nance Jr. Obviously, he's more tied into Jonas Valanciunas' minutes going down. I think it's Trey Murphy that gets the massive bump. We saw him start that second half after Ingram unfortunately went down. Thank God it was only a hyperextended knee because, geez, it didn't look good. I think it's Trey Murphy and then a bit of Najee Marshall as well. They do seem to like Najee's defense out there as well at times. So they're the ones I go for. Obviously, Trey Murphy's a better fantasy player than Marshall or Herb Jones. So he'd be the one if he's still there.
Yep. Kingy, in agreement with those, mate?
Yeah, I think it's Trey. I think it's Najee. I'd keep an eye on what happens with Nance because maybe they play Valanciunas a little bit more because they won't have Ingram scoring. So Nance, they're going to need other guys on the court who can score, and Valanciunas is a better offensive center than Larry Nance. So depending on matchups and things like that, so it could impact Nance in terms of actually hurting his value in some games. In saying that, Trey Murphy coming in can do a decent job of scoring the basketball as well, as we've seen over the last month. So, probably not a significant impact.
Nice. Injuries have ravaged all of our seasons, to be fair. Coming in this back, if you are still in the playoffs, the big question is this one. Is there anyone who you've got your eye on your waiver wire right now who is nearing a return and punters should have in their sights to be like, they're getting close. And if you can squeeze into that finals, you want to be, and especially if you're up in your semi, you might want to take them now to make sure you have them in the next week or so. Anyone on your radars, boys?
Me personally, I am neck and neck in both my finals matchups, so I am not looking ahead currently. I cannot do that. As I said, I'm versing Wembanyama in both leagues, and he's on a back-to-back. So, and I'm currently leading in blocks because he's only played one game. So, he's. I'm kind of being a bit more stagnant. I was going to try and get Desi Bain, but someone else got him. Went a bit early on him, so couldn't grab him. I don't think there's anyone else that I'm fully targeting right now. I'm kind of more looking at waivers at the moment to make sure I actually get to the finals. Anyone
on your radar there, Kingy?
The one that comes to mind is Mitch Robinson, because he's back doing full contact stuff like that. So he's not going to come in and play 25 minutes or 30 minutes or anything. But even if he comes back and plays 18, 20 minutes, he can get blocks. And in those low volume categories, he plays 2 games next week and gets you 6 blocks. And that could be something that if you're looking for players like that, you'd want to be looking at competitive teams. So not guys on like Memphis and Portland and that sort of thing, because even if they do come back, they're probably only going to come back for 1 or 2 games, then they'll rest. And so He's probably the one that comes to mind.
They've actually got a favourable schedule. They've got a favourable schedule next week as well for him to get rest after games. It's almost a beautiful Monday, rest Tuesday, play Wednesday, rest Thursday, play Friday, rest Saturday, rest Sunday schedule for the Knicks. So there's no back-to-backs for them next week, which alleviates that. And you can see how he goes as well on that Monday and Wednesday if he does come back next week. And if he's not getting the minutes that you need, let him go. And the first game, welcome to Detroit. And that's a great pickup for Mitchie Robinson.
Yeah. So keep an eye on the injury report. Maybe OG. Haven't really had word on how long he's going to be out. So maybe keep an eye on him. But other than them, I mean, as you would know, if you're in the playoffs, it's unlikely you're dominating to the point where you can just stash a guy now. If you are, then congratulations on having a really good team. But I know I'm not. So as I said the other night, I had to drop Miles Bridges in one of my leagues, which was hard.
How's that gone since? Like, because you were on the cusp. Like, it's a 2-game week for him. I need to make it to the next round. I will do the Danny Ainge. I will sell my grandmother's soul to get the player that I need to win. How did that work out in the 2 days since for you?
Yeah, look, I mean, he's still available, so there is a chance that I could grab him if I make the final next week. I picked up Keon Ellis for the back-to-back. He had one decent game, and then yesterday was not a good game. So, I don't know. I would say it wasn't a win, but it wasn't a loss because Keon Ellis did get me a handful of steals the night before.
5 steals.
So, yeah, look, I'm probably going to potentially drop Keon Ellis and pick up. I've got Porzingis in my IL spot, so it's until I know whether he's playing tonight, and they're on a back-to-back. So I'm figuring if he doesn't play tonight, he'll play tomorrow. So we'll see, but I'm probably going to drop Keon Ellis and pick up someone hopefully for the back-to-back Saturday, Sunday.
Well, we are talking about those back-to-backs, and we are talking about our Saturday, Sunday, and our Week 21 game slate. We are here. We are at Friday, and we were looking at double 8. We're looking at a couple of snake. We're looking at a couple. Is it not snake? What's the 8-8? Is it lucky 8s or lucky 7s? Whatever it is. I don't play enough dice games. We've got 2 games of 8 on Friday. I'm not a dice man. It's not my game. I'm a cards boy. Friday and Saturday 8s, and then we're rolling up a 6-game Sunday, which is obviously a key one here. So obviously the orange indicates that it can be harder to stream. Not always, but it can be depending on your league and your settings. If you've got a couple of guys in teams that are playing today, you'll find your roster spots almost obliterated. But you might also be very easy to stream in today. Sunday easing down to 6. And we were talking about back-to-backs. You did mention that there was one coming up for the Spurs. You are right now. We've just finished off the Thursday, Friday back-to-back. So on the second end of that leg is the Pelicans. And that's obviously where we're talking guys like Larry Nance Jr., Najee Marshall is on that list that we've discussed, and Jose Alvarado, who was, Jose and Larry didn't get a lot of burn last night. They were up on the Magic. They just didn't click at that offense. They'll get you peripheral stats. But in the wake of this one, I think we've chopped up that Larry Nance injury. Take us through the Friday, Saturday, and the Sunday, Monday back-to-backs there, Skiddy.
Yeah, mate. So Friday, Saturday, so today we've obviously got Celtics, Raptors, Blazers, and Spurs. And then the Sunday, Monday, we have the Cavs, Pistons, Clippers, and Sixers. So a few guys that we can kind of target there. If DeJounte Porter for the Raptors is still there, that's a good pickup. He's been getting a lot of peripherals and counting stats, which is good to see. Not scoring high, but that's all right.
Big balls. If you're chasing rebounds, Jonte becomes a nice little lad.
Mate, I actually like his steals and blocks that he's been getting. I know he's been low scoring, but like he's been doing enough really. When it comes to like the Spurs, it's like, not really. Like I don't have any faith in Malachi Branham or anything like that. So that kind of just nullifies that. There's Portland. There's an iffy one actually. Our boy, Supercoach Nathan Brain, he messaged me before and he goes, "Hey mate, Portland back-to-back, who do I pick up out of Kamara and Walker?" And I just went, yuck, is there any other way we can get any other player?
Yes.
But unfortunately it's 20 deep and makes it a bit hard. So I don't know. It's weird to say, but I'm actually kind of a little bit interested in Chris Murray. And
I was leaning Chris. I was leaning Chris Murray because it's a 3-point percentage league. This one, and I'm on the other side of the bracket. So Brano and I are both in the semifinals in that league. So I'm very happy he didn't ask me because I would have been like, this is where you're leaning for next week, are we? But look, I know. Look, it's a tight one. It's both of these rounds. It's 11 categories deep, 3-point percentage. And again, my opponent yesterday, I was up on 3-point percentage, and I had a day where I went 0 for, I think it was 16 between Kyrie, Miles Bridges, and I think, was it Cam Johnson or Corey Kispert or someone? And Corey Kispert, I know that you had your eye on him. We spoke about Kispert earlier a couple of weeks ago because I know that you pulled him in, Kingy, for one league, and you're hoping for a resurgence. He did, but he just seems to have just lost something in the last week.
I think it's just that he played for Washington. I mean, I wouldn't be motivated if I was playing for Washington at the moment. It's terrible. They're so bad.
I can't watch it. I tried to watch it to be like, I saw, and his free throws, 2 from 5 the other day. He's cooking me on free throw percentage, something. It's just, you're right. There just seems to be like, can we just finish up these 82 games and go on holiday? I'd really like that one. Carmody in chat again. Aiton is questionable. How do you guys like Reith if Aiton doesn't play? Yeah, always like him as a pull-in. 100%. So if Aiton gets shut down, Duop Reith has shown us where he can get us some really nice value in rebounds. He can get some points. Not huge on blocks, but he can occasionally even stretch the floor and get you a couple of threes as a big man. And his percentages are decent as well. So yeah, always if he gets a run as a starter, we can look to lock him in there. And someone here, maybe Shaden Sharp if you're playing fantasy in the next few weeks. I'm hesitant maybe to think, Mark, that they'll bring back Shaden Sharp just because, like you said, these tanking teams like Washington, Blazers are probably a step above them in the tanking team thing, but the last word is where he was shut down for the season. So I don't think they'll say that generally speaking and then bring him back. My big one is Evan Mobley. I think Evan Mobley was going to touch off on that one. He could be coming back next week. I'm really curious to see if they come down and they roll that out. If they do come back, he has 3 games from Wednesday to finish off his week as well. So if he does come back in week 22, Evan Mobley, I like bringing him in for, let's see, they're against the Charlotte Hornets as well, twice. So they're at home on Monday against Charlotte, and then they're away on Wednesday against the Hornets. An easy team to beat up on, one would say, for Evan Mobley. And then they've got Philadelphia and Denver down the back of the week as well. So I'm curious to see where Evan Mobley comes. He's one guy that I would have my eye on. A lot of people dropped him, obviously, but as he nears a return, like guys like Mitch Robinson, he's one that I'm leaning into just a little bit more. Lads, should we do it? Should we do the week, the preview? Put some punts on? Let's do it.
He's heating up.
And we're going to give you all the best advice and our punts for the day. You can get these here. We'll do it. I'm going to put in $5 because last week we forgot to actually top it up. And so I'm going to put in my 5 now for our little punters club. For our heat check multi, I'm going to put in my 5 now. And while I do that, I'm going to check out our Discord Unlimited as well and make sure we put it up in there. Now, if you're not a member of this yet, make sure you jump into our Discord Unlimited channel. It's $25 for an entire year from when you join. It covers you for all of your help for Supercoach in NRL and AFL, where you can get access to guys like Matrix, Whisperer, Brano for NRL, Big Horse, Skiddy, Herbie in the AFL. We've got the whole team for NBL and, of course, NBA to help you win your way through your playoffs and your semifinals. And it's 25 Australian dollars. And like we say, if you're overseas, it's like about $7.80. Our currency is horrible, and we hate that about us. So we'll put that in there for the day. So make sure you get on that one. And as well, get onto this one. Now, Skiddy, I sent you the picture of it. We've got graphics. Yes. Look at this first game of the day. The Oklahoma City Thunder versus the Toronto Raptors. And the name that was mentioned already was Jonte Porter as a bring-in for this one. Who are we looking at if here for the back-to-back? Obviously, the Raptors, as you said, have that. Where are we going?
Well, OKC should absolutely belt them today. They are currently minus 17-point favorites, so that gives a pretty good indication. Toronto, obviously, injury-ridden as hell. I think Bruce Brown, if if he is still on the wire, then he would definitely be the pickup for the back-to-back. Big cock, Grady Dick. He has been pretty shit, in fairness, in the last few games, but
Yes.
he can definitely pop off. And then obviously Jonte Porter, if you're looking for counting stats other than points. And yes, thank you very much, Carmody. Gary Trent has now just been listed as out. So I kind of don't mind the pickup of Jordan Nwora. He can get some threes, some rebounds, 1 or 2 assists, maybe some steals. I don't mind the pickup of Jordan Nwora for tonight. Don't know if he'll go the back-to-back. Still not touching O'Shea Abaji. He is shit. And I think that's where I'm currently looking. Have you boys got anything else to look at?
Where you go, Kingy?
Jordan Nwora. Is this the betting discussion? Are we talking about who we're maybe saying for over points, or is this?
Oh yeah,
absolutely, it is.
It's everything. Points. This is an everything conversation podcast.
I'd go Nwora points. I don't know what he's under, like over 15 or something. Because with no Quickly, no Trent, no Barrett, it's Grady Dick who, look, he's up and down. He's depending on the matchup, that sort of thing. Abaji doesn't really score. Olynyk is not a high volume scorer. Bruce Brown is not a high volume scorer. Someone's going to score, and Jordan Nwora can do it. So I'd go over points. Just something I wanted to preface as well, just very quickly on this, when you were talking about streaming and schedule, that sort of thing. If you're looking at next week's schedule, if people are lucky enough to be able to look ahead to next week, don't necessarily just stream in and pick up guys that are on 4-game weeks, because the schedule next week is stupid. It's 11, 4, 12, 2, 12, 3, 10. So you might have a guy that plays 4 games, but if his 4 games are on the 11, 12, 12, and 10,
that's exactly like the Knicks. That's the Knicks thing. So what do you want to be targeting? The big target days are the Tuesday and the Thursday games next week. And Saturday. Like they're
Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. So the Bucks and the Pelicans, all their 3 games next week are on those 3 low volume days. Despite only having 3 games, Trey Murphy, Najee Marshall, Larry Nance, and then for the Bucks, Malik Beasley. That's probably it. Bobby Portis, if he's available.
Don't say the other name, Kingy. Do not say the other name.
I won't.
Don't say that small forward.
Don't say it. Just say it.
Why?
Someone, please. I don't know. I don't want
to say it. I'm not saying to go and pick him up. So anyway, So if you're looking ahead, just don't just go, 4 games, I'm streaming you in, because with 12 games, 11 games, there's a chance that anyone you pick up won't be in your starting lineup.
Yeah, a lot of start-sit opportunities next week. And also, Carmody, I know you hit us up earlier in the week. In my finals, he has Trent, but both our teams are riddled with injuries this week. I know you hit us up for some advice earlier in the week there. Matty, tell us about your lineups and how you're going off our advice earlier this week. We hope we are helping you to stream to the win in that one. Talking about streaming to a win, the Pistons will never do that in their entire life, and I don't expect us to even do that again today. In fact, the Pistons don't know how to win, and they've proven that. And they'll probably be rewarded with a number 1 pick here. That's just a damn shame. Pistons and Boston tonight. We've got off injury report is Derek White. Off the injury report as well as Jaylen Brown. Jason Tatum is out with his ankle impingement, and Al Horford is out here. So we're looking possibly for some more Sam Hauser minutes. He is playing with his ankle sprain. Peyton Pritchard comes into play for us. Sam Hauser, Pritchard, Luke Cornett getting some minutes, I think, could be an option if you need some extra middle yards in there. But again, it's the Celtics against this team. And Detroit, look, I think they might beat up on them a little bit tonight. I think this is where I'm looking for my first I think this is where I'm looking to put our first bet on, to be honest, Skiddy.
Okay, mate. Yeah, I'm down with that. We can actually look back to, I believe it was 3 or 4 days ago, where the Celtics beat the Pistons by 25 points. Derek White had a triple-double. Jaylen Brown had 31. Pritchard, 23, 2 and 7. Sam Hauser didn't play in that game, but he made today. The big jumping jack himself, Luke Cornett, he had 10 boards. Isaiah Stewart is obviously now done for the season as well in Detroit.
Yep.
I think Wiseman could be a pickup today. I don't know why they start that one or whatever the hell his name is.
I've actually been. I have Tassan. I have been working on trying to say, Bobman. Ev Bomman.
Ev Bomman. Okay,
Evan
cool.
Bomman. I've been trying to work on saying, because Kingy, I actually said his name for the first time in my life the other night, and I was trying to sound it out like all bloody merry hell, and that's where I was going. So I've actually improved my.
Gee, that's very impressive from you, because that's coming from a bloke that struggled to stay onto the Kumpo for about 4 weeks. So I'm very proud of you, mate.
About 4 seconds, 4 times in one podcast at the very end. At the last one, I was recounting picks. What was it down? I counted down from. Oh God, that's a great flashback.
Do it. That was funny.
I couldn't do it. That was hilarious.
So, I bet-wise, I kind of like Derek White for assist here. I think Boston will kill him again. A lot of people may notice that Evan Fournier is now the starting small forward for the Pistons. No. No. So yeah, that's kind of where I lean. I mean, we could go Jaylen Brown for points as well. I think he'll probably get 30. That's probably a nice one there. So yeah, that's where I lean.
And with all of the betting and punting action going on in this game, there is also nothing currently you can put on for Derek White. So I'm actually leaning into points, 15 plus. I'm going with Jaden Ivey for 15 points today.
No, I don't want to bet on anything from Detroit.
Nothing from Detroit?
No.
No?
Nope, they
don't want to cross the 8 Mile? Okay. Nope. All right.
If Derek White is playing, I do not trust Jaden Ivey. Derek White is too good defensively.
Sam Hauser, most likely. This brings great. Good to see you back in chat, Shaq. Is Sam Hauser likely to play this back-to-back between him and Merrill to stream in for threes for the rest of this week? Yeah, I do think he plays this back-to-back. He's been getting a lot of minutes either way recently. With the injuries out tonight, they're going to obviously have to get some points and generate some points. So I think we can see Sam Hauser in both games playing some minutes there. Would you boys agree with that one?
I would say if he plays tonight, I doubt he would play tomorrow. I reckon they'll do like half of the team plays tonight, half the team plays tomorrow. Like, because they're only versing Detroit tonight, so who cares? And then tomorrow they've got Chicago, so like should be a win either way. So I reckon they might give him a bit of rest.
Yeah, it could be, especially with his left ankle sprain. I'd like to think that. You think Merrill? Get Merrill in there? You love Sammy Merrill.
I do love Money Merrill, but I think I would lean Hauser. He will be starting and get a lot more opportunity if he plays tonight or tomorrow. If he plays both, then fantastic. We get him for both. Sammy Merrill still will, come off the bench for the Cavs, even though Mitchell and everyone is out. So I still lean Hauser in that situation over Merrill.
Yeah, and he's starting as well now because their injury report, your eye, has just dropped, and he looks to be getting the start there. And next one up, as we're talking about Merrill, is the Cleveland Cavaliers versus the Minnesota Timberwolves. This is going to be an interesting game. I like how these guys match up. Questionable still without being officially listed is Anthony Edwards, Rudy Gobert, and Naz Reid are all questionable. Donovan Mitchell is still out. We won't see him back for a little while, so that's a bit of a shame. We've got probably coming back in a couple of games' time, guys like Evan Mobley and Maxi Strus. But today, who are we liking for a win? Are we liking the Timberwolves here early, or do we think that the one of the best defenses in the NBA can shut them down?
I'll let you go for that one, mate.
Skiddy has way too many personal connections to the Cavs.
He does. I think. The Timberwolves, did they play last night? No, they didn't.
No, they didn't.
No, they did not. So they're not on a back-to-back. And is it in Minnesota?
It is.
It is.
It is. I'll probably lean Minnesota, I think. I just think without Donovan Mitchell, without Evan Mobley, without Strus, I think I'd go... I think I would go, Minnesota. Karis LeVert's been good, though, the last little bit. I managed to pick him up. Sorry, I'm just activating Kristaps Porzingis in all my leagues.
Nice.
I really didn't think he'd play. I was very surprised and glad
Yeah.
that he's playing. And Gary Trent won't play tomorrow either. So just if anyone has Gary Trent, well, he's unlikely to play. He's not going to play. Toronto have got nothing to play for. So, I think I would go Minnesota for the win. In terms of like pickups or anything like that, little bit hard to know on the Minnesota side until we know whether Edwards, Gobert, and Reed. I think Edwards probably plays. He tends to play through anything. So Gobert is probably 50-50 because this injury has caused him to miss a few games. Naz Reid wants to be out there at the moment because there's no cat, so he's got a really good opportunity. So he'd be pushing to play. I'd like to see Mike Conley do something. That'd be nice. He hasn't really done anything in terms of anyone on Cleveland to look at. I don't know. Okoro has sort of been up and down a bit, I suppose. George Niang, if you need threes.
G-Wagon.
I don't know. I'm not. It's a tricky game until we know which of those Wolves guys are going to play. There's nothing really here that jumps off the page for me.
Yep. I just I'll tentatively list the Timberwolves for a win at home to get up over this one. And talking about tentative, you wouldn't, or you can take it off. It's in the bet slip. You can take it off the bet slip.
Mate, let me just say. So let me just say the Cavs Timberwolves played a couple of weeks ago. Cavs ended up winning in overtime. It was a big game for Naz Reid. Naz Reid had 34. If they don't have Naz Reid, then I can see the Cavs actually taking over this game, especially if Rudy Gobert doesn't play. Jared Allen had 33 and 18 last time. Darius Garland 34 and 8 assists. I can see a world where the Cavs can actually get on top of the Wolves of just how they kind of play and how they're able to move around the Timberwolves defense. As long as they keep the stretching from Niang, Marcus Morris now as well, Karis LeVert. If Okoro can hit his shots, then I can see the Cavs getting on top of the Timberwolves today.
Well, then I did just a low key. I did like Jared Allen for 15 points today. And that's at $1.46.
Yep, I can definitely see that.
All right, we'll throw that one in there.
The Timberwolves play their defense, especially with Rudy there. They play way more drop, so it allows Jared Allen to, hit the floaters. Darius Garland takes up so much of the defense purely because he's just plain and simple. He's quicker than the Minnesota defenders. Like, he's quicker than Conley, he's quicker than McDaniels, so they don't really have that point of attack defender to be able to stop Garland. You could see it the last time I played, Garland literally just kept going to the ring, and then when Gobert would come across, he'd just pass it to Allen. So it was just two-man game pretty much the whole game, and that's exactly what they did in overtime because they were the only two blokes that scored.
Yeah, no, look, I'm all for it, and I think we should get on that one. I also think, though, with that, if he does rest, that reminds me of something very, very interesting. I think we should probably slide on in here, and I think we should get ourselves Anthony Edwards for at least 4 or 6 rebounds. He's been averaging that the last 5 games out, to be fair as well. And if Gobert sits, we know Ant is always going to crash those boards. And only for 4 rebounds right now, is it just at a cheeky $1.16?
That's
which
fine.
Is a nice
5 last time.
Yeah, he did. So I think we put that on there as well and just update that a little bit and get some Ant action going on. Next one of the day, as we said, there is no more indecisive lineup in the NBA than that of the Memphis Grizzlies. And the San Antonio Spurs are their opponent. The Spurs are at home today. Who do we like here, guys? Kingy, you go up first, mate. We've got questionable, Scottie Pippen Jr., Concha, and off the injury report is Jaren Jackson Jr. Desmond Bain is doubtful for this one, obviously for certain reasons, because they're playing against not a great team. So there's not a lot to play for, and there's not a lot to play for him in the first place. And probable over on the Spurs is Zach Collins.
So reading through the novel that is the Memphis Grizzlies injury report, you basically target anyone that's actually going to play at this point. Santi Aldama has been good of late, so I think he's probably one of your targets. GG Jackson has been good as well. So they're probably the two. Jordan Goodwin hasn't been ruled out yet. That's not to say he plays because they might wait until 10 minutes before tip-off. So you could grab him if he's available. But it's probably Aldama and GG Jackson. Conchar is questionable. If he plays, he can do stuff.
Yep.
I wouldn't – if we're looking at betting and numbers and overs and that sort of thing, I don't know, GG for points maybe. If we're looking at the Spurs, I mean, they're healthy. They're basically. So Wemby versus Jaren Jackson is going to be a good matchup. That'll be fun to watch.
Yep.
You can get GG.
Been played big minutes.
This is interesting. Julian, the least points you can back on for GG Jackson because they pretty much the Vegas odds are recommending to listen to Adam King on everything because they think no one else is going to score on this team tonight. And so the lowest points you can get on GG for is 16.5.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, who else is going to score? Even Jaren Jackson is not a noted scorer. He will tonight because he has to, but he is against Wemby. So it's not going to be a game where you can just waltz in and score 30.
Correct. And fun fact, last time that the Spurs played the Grizzlies, so Wemby had 20 points. Jaren Jackson only had 10 and shot like shit because I think Wemby actually matches up extremely well on Jaren. Jaren's not, putting his body, throwing his weight around a shitload. So, there could be a little bit of something in that. I'm leaning Spurs here. I think they, unlike the Grizzlies are just going to keep losing. They don't give a shit. The Spurs, they're all young, so they need to see wins to their young players to show that, hey, we are going in the right direction. We can win games. So, I think the Spurs win it.
Yeah.
Done. It's there.
Agree. And GG, if you look at I'm looking at his game log, 35, 22, 19, 26, 19, 30 over the last 6. He's played basically 35 minutes a night, bar one game.
We'll tap him on for 16.5. We'll tap him on for 16.5 points because someone has to score for Memphis.
But
it won't be pretty.
But
we don't need pretty. We don't need pretty at $1.27. We just need him to hit the marker. So that's all we need from Uncle GG. We've got one from our good mate, Old Man in the Sea. Hey guys, I'm sorry I am late. You're forgiven, old man. You're forgiven. Just a quick question: would you be keeping Paul Reed for next week when he is a borderline startable? I have JTD who I can start instead. Well, again, this is all on your scheduling for next week. I would encourage you, old man, to just look at your lineup for next week, jump ahead into the future and set your lineups for next week and actually see what it is. As Kingy said earlier, it is an absolute minefield. Monday's 11, Tuesday's 4, Wednesday's 12. And if we're looking at Paul Reed, the Philadelphia 76ers schedule is on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and on Sunday. So you are looking at all of the high volume games for him, whereas the Golden State Warriors, they play on Tuesday, which is the low volume day. And they also they do roll into the back-to-back, to be fair, on your high volume game Wednesday. Then they also play again on the Friday, high volume, and Sunday, high volume. So again, if you can roll him out and move to Trace for the Tuesday, that's one ad that can still get you 4 games for the rest of the week if you're targeting those stats. And if you have the ability to roll them out there, because it's chock-a-block. It's literally chock-a-block next week.
I keep TJD and drop Reed.
There you go.
I don't know what the hell Nick Nurse is doing. He's starting Bumber. He's playing Bumber a lot of minutes, or 20 or so, but that obviously limits Paul Reed. So Reed's numbers haven't been, jump off the page or anything like that. So, I'd say stream down the river. In our next one, talking about stream, we've done that one up. We've got the New Orleans Pelicans on the back-to-back, their second night, versus the Miami Heat. Obviously, we know of the Brandon Ingram injury. He is out for tonight, obviously, with that in mind as well. Also out, we've got still Dyson Daniels yet to make his return. Tyler Hero, another one of those guys who's just a few games away. So if you're playing into week 23 and you can get him in the end of your week 22 matchup, Tyler Hero becomes into play, like with a bit of future casting down the way. Injury report, playing is Bam and probable is Caleb Martin, and Jovic is playing in with a right hamstring strain at this point in time.
we've pretty much covered the Pelican side. Anyone we could look at for the Heat, boys?
Caleb Martin, probably. Tyler Hero, I'm not sure he comes back. Well, it won't be this week. I'm not even sure it's next week. I
think he's a nice week 23 ad. I think if they can get through the next week, I think you could just sneak into a lineup in week 23 and possibly grab Tyler Hero. So that's a bit of like, keep your eyes on where he is. And if you get well and truly up next week in your matchup and you get word that Tyler Hero, that's some guy who can turn the league in your favor in your week 23 down the track in a couple.
Yeah. Look, it's probably Caleb Martin, I guess. I don't know. Yeah. The Heat, the Heat are boring. I just don't really pay too much attention to them. It'll be an interesting game because Pelicans are on a back-to-back, but they do have Ingram out. Heat have a few injuries. So in terms of who's going to win this one, it's a tough one. I'm assuming it's in New Orleans. Is that right?
No, it's in Miami.
No, it's in Miami.
In Miami, okay.
Yeah. Anyone, Yelena, were you about to mention Jovic? Get there? I saw you making the yo mouth movements.
I was. Baby Jokic, Nikola Jovic. I think he got 33 minutes last game. He normally starts out hot and then just went to shit afterwards, and then Spoelstra just benches him. But I think with the way that. But that was without Bam as well. I think that kind of did hinder it a little bit. But, they like the floor spacing that Jovic was able to do. I think he can pile in a couple of threes. I mean, Homie Huckers Jr. is the other one that you can look at. He had a shocker last game, but they always like to get him on the floor when they can. But then that also limits Jovic a bit. So I agree with Kingy that the main guy would probably be Caleb Martin. And then I don't mind a go of Jovic. They're also liking to play Patty Mills out there as well, which I love to see. Good on Bala. Absolutely love Bala being Australian because, FIBA Bala is just absolute. That's Michael Jordan-esque. He is unbelievable in the FIBA. But I can't trust him to pick up for my fantasy. So, yeah, that's about it. But, yeah, I'm leaning Miami here. I think they can pull it out. Bam plays to be able to nullify Zion, and then Jimmy Butler's still just going to Jimmy Butler. So massive narrative, obviously, around how good Butler is in March. So, and he still steps up each time. So I don't think the Pelicans have enough to be able to stop Miami from rolling through.
Ooh, all right. Do you want? Are we putting on the Heat for the win?
Yeah, I just think that, obviously they got Herb Jones, who's a great defender, but he can only defend one of Butler or Rozier, and I think the other one can get off the chain a little bit, and I think they have enough spacing around them to be able to do work, and obviously with Bam back, Bam's such a good defensive talent down there that I think he'll be able to do enough of a job on Zion, even though I think Zion will still score all right.
Would you like me to do your favorite? Try bet 5 it? Either team by 8 or less.
Yeah, I kind of don't mind it. But
you kind of don't mind it? See, I'm learning. I'm learning from you, Skiddy.
I know. Yeah, I actually hit a try bet 5 multi the other day as well, which is bloody beautiful. So always love when that pays off. I mean, I don't mind it, G Whistle, but I don't know.
Let's go clean win the Heat. Clean win the Heat. You called the Heat. Yeah. We'll go the Heat.
The way I do the try bet 5 is if I can't see any team blowing the other team out, then that's when I bang it on. But in this game, I can see a world where the Heat can actually get a hold of them a little bit.
All right, done. Well, our next game then moves to the Los Angeles Clippers visiting the Portland Trail Blazers. We've had a bit of an injury update as well. We've got probable on Anthony Simons, questionable DeAndre Ayton, questionable for Norm Powell, and questionable for Terrence Mann. But the big news here, Woj has just tweeted out not long ago that Russell Westbrook is likely to make a return, possibly on Monday for the Clippers, which is a huge return for them. He was expected to be out quite a few more games. He has progressed very, very well. But again, the Clippers next week are one of the, what I call them, the every other day team, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday. So your rosters are going to be stacked, but he's probably going to be better than your worst guy out there. So let's just keep our eye on Russell Westbrook and if he can make a return for next week. But in today's game, those are our lineups. And Clippers just is a smash for a win.
Yeah, they should belt them. Absolutely clean bowl them. Portland are on the back-to-back, so, I mean, Murray, maybe. I still don't like Kamara's game. If someone drops a scoot, I'd probably have a crack. If Aiton's out, then absolutely we'd go and do up. And no one for the Clippers. That's just way too hard to figure out. I mean, if you really had to get threes, you could have a look at Amir Coffey if Terrence Mann is out. He's been pretty knocked down over the last couple, so that's kind of where I land.
Same with you, King?
Yeah, not much on the Clippers. Norm Powell, I suppose, if he plays, but still questionable. For Portland, Duop Reith. If Ayton is out again, then I'd roll with him. Delano Banton still playing big minutes, but again, they're one of these teams like the Grizzlies. It's hard to know who to target on any given night. So, I don't know. What a boring game. Who cares?
There are a lot of boring games. This should be the boring game Friday, to be fair.
There's not a lot of excitement on the schedule. I'm going to go out and do some yard work and be listening to the games, and that'll do for me.
Is this one more exciting? The Pacers versus the Warriors? Yeah. I'd probably say I think this is one of the more exciting games for the day. A couple of teams that we do love to see in action. Official reports on the injury report, health-wise for both of these teams right now, is that pretty much everyone's okay, apart from Obi Toppin is questionable, and probable is our friend Draymond Green. This is streaming value. Trace Jackson Davis. We've heard obviously earlier on, TJ McConnell continues to get some minutes, and Jalen Smith would be the only guys that are there. But Andrew Wiggins and Pods still on waivers, guys. These are the guys you probably want to pull in for the Warriors, Skiddy.
Yeah. I mean, the Warriors can just go a hell of a different ways how they're going to do it. But yeah, I do like Trace Jackson Davis in this game just because of the pace that the Pacers do play at. I think he'll get a fair amount of run and be able to get out there, and he matches up quite well against Sticks. So I don't mind that. Neesmith, if he's still on wires, he's been crap as of late, but I think this could be a good turnaround game for him. And that's kind of where I lean in this game. I don't really like the head-to-head either way. It's in Golden State, so maybe that gives the lean to the Warriors, but this is going to be a pretty good game. I'm looking forward to this one.
I agree. We've also got Carmody. Would you drop Harrison Barnes for McConnell or Kyle Anderson? Head-to-head points. I'm in the first round of my playoffs in this league. Carmody, how many leagues are you in? Bloody hell, Carmody. Carmody's deep. Carmody's got about 12 or 13 leagues on the go, 100%. We'll come back to that one with you, mate. We'll stick on the Warriors train. Can you just on that one, anyone from the Warriors that you'd bring in today, or the Pacers?
Warriors, look, as Skiddy said there, Jackson Davis, I think with the pace of the game, they're going to need him out there a little bit. Draymond Green is probable, but given it's a back thing, there's a potential here for him to play slightly fewer minutes than normal, especially if they do have to play at pace. Draymond Green is not a pace player.
Not a pace player.
So Jackson Davis, Chris Paul, if he's available, I've seen him available in a couple of leagues if you just need some assists and steals. And then for the Pacers, I mean, TJ McConnell's been rolling lately, so if he's there, grab him. Neesmith, he's getting better, coming back off that injury. He's starting to look a little bit more like the Neesmith we saw 2 months ago. That's probably it. I'm really hoping that this is a fast game and that Steph Curry can get loose because I need him to hit some threes. I need one of those Steph Curry 9 3-pointer games tonight. That would be lovely.
Do you need one of those ones where he just does that in the second half after he doesn't make a shot in the first half for you and you get really panicky and worried, and then all of a sudden it shifts like in that Lakers game the other day and Steph and Clay go for 86 threes in the space of 4 minutes, and you're like, this is obviously classic Warriors basketball, because there's no man alive who can pull out 9 threes in a short amount of minutes than there is Mr. Steph Curry. It's ridiculous.
No, other than Sam Hauser, there isn't. So, look, I don't care how he gets them, and I'll probably won't be watching it because I'll be outside doing stuff. So if I come in and look at the end of the night and he has 9 3-pointers, if they all came in one quarter, that's absolutely fine.
No surprises whatsoever there. Our last game of the day is the Philadelphia 76ers visiting the Los Angeles Lakers. I like the Lakers here, quite obviously with the 76ers being decimated by injuries as they have been for a little while now. And the Lakers need a win. Questionable is Tobias Harris for this one. When he's been questionable, he's been rested. And again, obviously, always on the injury report for questionable is LeBron and probable is Anthony Davis. Melton out and beat out. Look, Jared Vanderbilt's nearing a return for these guys, and so is Gabe Vincent. He's apparently not too far off a return. Maybe we see him in a couple of weeks' time. But on lineups here today, I'm probably going to have to lean out. I'm going to have to lean the Lakers.
Okay. Interesting.
I lean the Lakers. They need some wins. And I think this is the time of season where we start to see them just get their shit together a little bit. We saw it last year, their run down the stretch to confirm it up. I know that they're in that race now. They're ahead on games played than the Warriors who are on today. So the Warriors, they're both jockeying for that position for the 9 and the 10 spot at this time in the West. For me, like these guys are with the Houston Rockets on a 7-game win streak.
Give some respect to the Houston Rockets, man. 7 in a row without
7 in a row.
Damn.
With like this is a team that's like Jock Landau was saying it in the post-game interview the other day. They found a new identity. They're healthy. They're running. Jalen Green is looking like that Jalen Green that we saw 2 years ago at this time of year, and he shot up our radars last year and then wasn't even a top 200 bloke last year. So he's playing incredibly well. Fred is leading the team. Emi Udoka is coaching up a storm. So I'm, because of my fear of how good the Rockets have been, well, if the Lakers are going to be bad, they're going to drop out and they can miss the play-in. Like this is a very real thing. Like they're at 69 games, giggity, for the Houston Rockets right now, and it's 68 games for the Lakers. So the Rockets have played one more. So the Lakers get that one back in the bag. They're only 2 wins up, 3 wins losses. It can go either way right now. So 3 games away for the Warriors. So the Warriors are in a must-win today. It's 3 games up on the Lakers. So and the Lakers have played more games than the Warriors. So for me, this is where I think that I can start to see some of those superstars in the Lakers taking the front step forward. You're definitely going to be getting minutes and numbers out of LeBron and Russell and, of course, AD. But I think this is one that they have to get in the books today. Like, this is a must-win for them.
Yeah, no, and I think they will win it. I think, like, Philly is absolutely shit house right now.
Yep.
So, and Anthony Davis is going to absolutely destroy Mo Bamba. There is absolutely no ifs, ands, or buts about that. Davis is going to absolutely kill him. If LeBron's
20 points,
health, he'll kill them all too. They don't have enough to be able to stop either of them. So,
no way.
I land both of those, and I hope that the Warriors and the Rockets get over the Lakers and they miss the play-ins.
Whew, that'd make you Mrs. Happy.
Yeah, make me happy too.
Anyone you can look at. I don't think we can really have any streamings for the day on this one. Is there anything you thought points or overs or unders?
Jackson Hayes is the only one that they would be a streamer. Just if they do get a handle on Philly, they don't have another backup center with all the outs. So I think Hayes could get a bit of an extended run. He can do enough in 20 minutes. Yeah.
What about you, King?
Look, I mean, Kyle Lowry, I guess, if you just need some assists and maybe a steal. No one on the Lakers. Despite some terrible games in terms of matchups and just boring tonight, I do think that there are some key games. So, like Lakers, Warriors, they both need to just keep winning. And the teams they're against, the Sixers and the Pacers, both need to win because they're fighting for that 6th spot in the East to avoid the play-in. So, and obviously if you can finish outside, above the play-in, you avoid the Bucks and the Celtics in the first round. Yep. So they'd be looking to do that. So I think all 4 teams have a lot to play for tonight. So it could at least make it competitive for a while. But Philly just don't. Of those 3 teams, Philly just don't look the part at the moment without Embiid, without Melton. Maxey probably goes off because he has to.
Yep.
But yeah, I'm not really interested in anyone in terms of streaming.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I would agree with that one. Should we add some sexy points to one Tyrese Maxey?
I prefer Davis or LeBron, but
I've
Maxey.
gone 20 points plus for AD, 15 points plus for LeBron. It seems ordinary, but we could go 20 points plus for LeBron. I think easily as well. I think their guys are going to shine today. 122. LeBron's on a bit of a heater after a 40-point piece a couple of games back. I think we wrap it up with that one. So our final one on the bet one, and we'll squeeze this one in and shout out to our good sponsors, the Standard Squeeze. Make sure to squeeze your lineups in for your fantasy day and get onto our good friends, the Standard Squeeze, for all your traveling mugs and camping essentials. If you're an outdoors person, if you're doing it, also rep your apparel like Skiddy's got on his head right there. No, because brand new, Skiddy, this is a surprise.
Oh, I almost swore. Hell yeah, boy. That's lit. I love that.
The brand new Insight cap. There it is.
Get that out to me immediately.
Well, do you want to see? Should I do an unboxing? No one's seen this. Do you want to do an unboxing of something very special that's going to be coming into your, or do you want to just get it in the post and unwrap it on?
You can do it for Kingy if you want, but I'd rather just unwrap it, so I'll look away.
No, I won't do it. I want Kingy saw the T-shirt the other night. Kingy saw the new T-shirt, but your brand new Insight. It looked good. It's on the clothesline right here.
All right, lovely.
I'll show you. I can show you the T-shirt. We'll show you the T-shirt.
No, I don't want to see the T-shirt. I'm not looking at the T-shirt, King. I don't know what he's doing. I don't want.
This is on the podcast. You can see this. Oh, my wife was.
I like
he doesn't want to see it.
No,
he doesn't.
I like surprises.
My wife has been lovely enough to hear that we're talking about it, Skiddy, and she's like, "Do we want to see it?" Oh, look, you can look away. You can look away.
No.
Kingy, you can see this one. Turn around, Skiddy. I'm scared. Look at the sweatshirt.
Oh yeah, nice.
Look at that. Yeah, look at that one. And I won't show you because you saw the T-shirt the other night. There's no need for it. I put it away. That's the sweatshirt. You can look back now, Skiddy.
Good.
You can look back. I didn't show the T-shirt. It's here. I didn't pull the logo out, and I've been wearing it. But this is the gear that's getting posted to you this week. But your size jumper arrived, but some of the others didn't. So only your size and another one arrived. So you'll be getting that in the mail this week. And there's also an Insight. Oh, it will be. I'm going over to buy the bags this morning, so it's all on there. It'll be out in the post, but a whole bunch of brand new Insight gear and apparel coming really, really soon, and that's on your dial, guys. So make sure you get that on. Squeeze this into your lineup. Our bet slip. You've got to throw your $5 in apparently because we've got to put it back in. So I'm going to go into this part here. We've got Jalen Williams for 15 plus points and for 2 assists. For OKC, we've got Jarrett Allen 15 plus points and Edwards 4 rebounds. The Spurs to get a win, G.G. Jackson, 16.5 points to go over that. We've got the Miami Heat for a win, the Clips for a win, and the Lakers for a win. Anthony Davis plus 20, LeBron 4 rebounds, and LeBron 20 plus points. Powered and juiced up on Sportsbet, paying $17.50.
Nice. I like that.
Yeah, I like that. I like that too. We'll throw $5 in it. Kingy, thank you so much for your time, everyone. Make sure you like and subscribe to all things Insight. You can find Kingy. What's coming up for you, man? Tell us what's going on at FBI.
Usual shows. Our Thursday night show. My Monday afternoon show with Noah. Will continue rolling. And then, as I said, on my show, our playoff leagues will be launching as soon as Fantrax allows us to set them up. Which should be in the next week or so, I would guess. So we'll both B-Dub and I will be tweeting out links and things to be able to join those leagues. And they're fun. For anyone that hasn't done a playoff league, one of the ones that I really like doing, I forget what it's actually called. It's not a best ball. Pick'em. I think it's called Pick'em or something like that. So that's where you pick I think it's 1 or 3. We have different ones, but you pick, say, 3 players for the first day of the playoffs. Next day, you pick a different 3. You can only use a player once during the whole playoffs. So if you pick Jokic on day 1, you can't use him again for the rest. So you need to sort of be using those players on teams that are probably going to be bundled out in the first round.
Nice.
And be strategic with it. So they're always fun. So they'll be coming up. Then the draft only leagues will kick off, and I'll probably do another mock draft for next season at some point, because why not?
Yeah, boy.
Oh, I can't wait for that. Love that action.
There is a question in there too, which is if we want to grab that quickly.
We will. We're putting it on right now. Our final question here is, hello, Zazu. Who should I drop? Only have one IR spot, Mobley or Ingram?
Ingram.
Yeah, Ingram.
Yep.
Yeah, Mobley's closer to a return than Ingram is.
Yeah, 100%. And how long, Zazo, how long your league goes for? He's probably out at least 3 weeks, anywhere between 12 to 15 games. So, yeah, you're not going to get any burn. Whereas Mobley, we are hearing word that he could be back this week. And, yeah, use it up, keep him on there. And then the little bit of a shifty thing you could do is keep Mobley on there, see how he goes for minutes, and use that as an extra streaming spot on the days that you need next week, especially with all the scheduling shenanigans, is a nice way to get some burn out of that one. So keep him there, stream that spot, activate him when you need to. That's what I'd be doing, mate.
And one other thing, it's not FBI related. It's not even basketball related. It's just exciting because I read it this morning that they are potentially making a sequel to Happy Gilmore. So anyone that grew up,
no,
in the 90s and loved Happy Gilmore, the sequel is supposedly in the works with Shooter McGavin returning.
Oh,
so there you go.
Well,
that excites me. So,
oh yeah.
Does it excite you more than jam on a hot cross bun? What's the overall review on that, by the way, Kingy?
I don't mind it. I didn't have some that night, but I did have some the next morning at work and got some weird looks. So,
what is it?
People
Why
saying,
does no one do this?
I don't know. I think you're in the minority. I hate to say it. I don't know.
It surprises me that, and Skiddy is a cultured man of the world. Like, there's no more culture and no more man. There's no more man and no more culture than Skiddy.
I might do a poll on Twitter.
Yeah, I highly doubt it will actually had it.
I'll do the poll. I feel solely responsible for this being a thing. Poll. Ask a question. Do you put jam on your hot cross buns? 1, yes, no, and that's it. Yes, no, straight up. There it is. Asking. I should edit this about asking for a friend, Adam King. There we go.
Madison sequel as well. God, that'd be good. Such a good.
Oh, that's going to be such a good. I haven't seen Adam Sandler's new one, Spaceman, yet, but I'm hearing good reviews for it.
Yeah, I haven't watched it. I watched the new Roadhouse last night with Jake.
What was that like?
I thought it was fine. Like, if you don't, people that go and no, you can't. Don't ruin the first. Well, it's not ruining the first one. Just watch it as a standalone movie, and I thought it was pretty good.
Okay.
Yep.
Have you watched it yet, Skiddy?
No, I haven't. But I've been looking at watching it. So if Kingy's given it a good review or okay review, or it's watchable, then I'll have a crack at it.
I'm putting this poll up, asking for some mates, at Skiddy.
Yes, I am there, mate.
And at Adam King. Yes. No. Done. That's up there. I'm going to get this poll. Started. Low key recommendation: Argyle. If no one's seen the new Matthew Vaughn film at the cinema with Henry Cavill making a cameo, John Cena in it, Dua Lipa's in it, but it's headed up by Sam Rockwell, who I just think is amazing, and Bryce Dallas Howard. It's fantastic. Matthew Vaughn film. It's actually in the Kingsman world. So if you love the Kingsman films. Yeah.
Oh, I love the Kingsman films.
This kind of feeds into it in the most low-key, cool way possible. Samuel L. Jackson's in it as well. Rated highly. So check out Argyle. I think it's a perfect date night film, but it's also a really great, I went with the mate not knowing that it was kind of a datey, romancy film. I thought it was a bit of a piss take on it. But it's action and everything you need. It's a good laugh. So check out. That's one of my high recommendations.
Yeah, nice.
Here we go. Yeah, they should do a Billy. Yeah, imagine. Oh God, and could you imagine Billy Madison? Yeah, could you imagine a Billy Madison sequel?
I could. It'd be great.
It'd be no Chris Farley to play his role in it, but they could still do it.
They could still
Larry
do it.
Markkinen is out tonight. Just if anyone actually thought he was going to play, he's not.
He's not playing. Lowry's not playing. That's a shame.
They don't play tonight. It's tomorrow.
Tomorrow, whenever it is.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Yeah.
Who
We
gives
just did the
Travis
games.
yeah.
We just did the games. We just did the games. We did. And make sure you do follow this man right here at Adam King 91 and all things FBI Basketball International. Make sure you follow my guy right here. This one here on this side. It's this side. Wait, there it is. This guy.
Yeah,
this guy. Follow this one here. His name is Drake Skidmore, and you can find him at Skiddy IFS. He is an absolute monster for NBA and AFL. He heads up the team with our boy Big Horse. We've got to play it once an episode at least. We got the Big Horse and AFL show, and you can find me at NBA Wiz for all content NBA and 2K. Thanks very much, everyone, for listening and spending time with us. Wait, here we go. Is he a drop, Billy Madison? Yes, Billy Madison is a drop. Oh,
I think he means Larry Markkinen.
No, look, I think if you've got an IR spot, you put him in there if that's the case, because he's been in and out of IRs for people for a while there, and just you don't know what it's going to be. He might be in one game and out the next game, but when he plays, look, he was shocking last game. Not very good. Dragged your percentages well down. So I think that's what you got to have a look there for Carmody, and just put him into IR if you can and activate him that way and go from there. Guys, again, make sure you do all of the things and like and subscribe everything to Insight. You can get that down below. All of our links. You can check out our Discord channel. Like we said, our Unlimited is cracking off. Make sure you join that. There's a whole bunch of free channels and $25 to unlock all channels and access to the experts on that one for the entire year. Big shout out to that one. Make sure you like and subscribe to all things on Twitter, Spotify, X. Give us a 5-star review, and we will see you.
Welcome to the Ultimate Super Coach and Fantasy Sports Show. You are now listening to the Insight Fantasy Sports Podcast.